Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum.
There's lots of good reasons to join the Legion of Mary. The one reason that I normally state as the number one reason why you should join is it will help you find your vocation. There's a lot of young men that joined the Legion, they became priests. So I joined it as a younger man, and I fully credit it with finding my wife. She wasn't an active member of the Legion of Mary, but she was the administrative assistant at the parish where I joined the Legion of Mary. And I don't think I ever would have asked her out or got to know her had it not been for the Legion. So that's the number one thing. It'll help you to find your vocation. Number two, it'll help you to live your vocation. So we're all called as lay people to spread the gospel. And if not through the Legion of Mary, how are we going to be able to do that? Not too many Catholics have the experience of sharing their faith, and if they want to, they're oftentimes not sure how to do it. So the whole Legion system is based on the master-apprentice system. So if you do something like door-to-door evangelization, where you go out and knock on doors and invite people to come to the church, you're not doing that with no background experience. You should be going with somebody who's done it before, and they should be able to train you, tell you what materials we use, different things that we say, to try to engage people. And it's a really great way to live out the gospel and to live out that divine commission to spread the gospel, to baptize and to preach, and to bring people to the priest, to bring people to the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. I also know there's a number of people that have made the total consecration to Jesus through Mary, according to St. Louis de Montfort. It's a 33-day preparation. We've had hundreds of people make it at St. Benedict's, and through the Legion of Mary, we pass out books and just keep them up to date on where they should be in the whole process, like what day they're on. The Legion of Mary was founded with this very strict purpose of living out the total consecration. So it's a great way to live out your total consecration. And whenever we do that, we're giving ourselves up to be slaves of the Blessed Virgin Mary. We're giving ourselves up to be slaves through Christ, through the hands of the Blessed Virgin. And what better way, what better gift to give ourselves than to join the Legion of Mary? I haven't found anything better, and it's just a wonderful way for me to live out that consecration. And if I'm ever tempted to get away from the Legion system, I just think about, well, I'm probably not being a very good servant, a very good slave of Our Lady. She deserves better. And even if I live out the best I can, she of course deserves better, because she's the Immaculata. She's the ultimate creature, and we glorify God by turning ourselves over to her. So another reason why I would encourage people to join the Legion of Mary is there's no shortage of scandals happening in and out of the church. A lot of times people just fall into this deep pit of despair, where they look around them and they just say, everything's going down, what are we gonna do? And of course the natural answer is pray your rosary, say your prayers, do fasting and penance, and that's great, everybody should do that. But the Legion is a way where you can actually combat that. One quote that I came across that I keep telling everybody is the only way that you can conquer your enemy is to convert them. And we see that our enemies are all around us right now. And if there's going to be any way that we can have an active way in converting people, of course it ultimately happens through the Holy Spirit and grace coming upon that person. But if we want to be means of grace, we want to be instruments of grace, what better way to change the world than to join the Legion of Mary, live out the system. The Legion picture, which I'm hoping we can get a picture of at some point, it's really incredible, because if you turn it upside down, Our Lady's upside down, it basically looks like a chalice. And at the top of the chalice, where Our Lady's normally stepping on Satan's head, the chalice, when Our Lady's upside down, the chalice is right side up, and Satan's what's coming out of the chalice. And we get the fruit of that chalice. So at the bottom of the Legion picture, which is now the top, you see a bunch of soldiers, you see a lot of war, you see a lot of chaos. So what we try to do in the Legion of Mary is to turn things right side up. Remember, there's all sorts of wonderful quotes where Our Lady is in constant battle with Satan. From the fall of man, one of the punishments was to the serpent. God said, I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your seed and hers. So that's what happens. We're in constant spiritual warfare through the Legion of Mary. We turn things right side up whenever we live out our Legion vocation. We become Mary all over again. And whenever we're Mary and we turn the world right side up, Satan's head is being crushed under Our Lady's heel. So that's what happens in the Legion of Mary. So it's a great sign of hope in these very troubled times to join the Legion. And I know that whenever the COVID crisis first broke out and we were unable to even attend our Sunday Masses, we weren't sure what to do. It was that community of the Legion of Mary where we had the idea to go out in front of Chesapeake Regional Hospital and to have a rosary rally banner dedicated to Our Lady, saying, "In these troubled times, we turn to you, Blessed Mother." And we prayed the rosary. And a number of people that went there just were so grateful for that, because we were in this state of like, what are we supposed to do? Yeah, we're supposed to pray, but it had that active witness. And I don't know how many cars passed by us. There were several hundred, as we were just there on a Sunday afternoon for several months. And there were anywhere from like 8 to 15 of us. We were doing all the social distancing and everything that we were required to, because we didn't want to get arrested or anything like that. But it was a great sign of hope that things were going on, things that God didn't stop working. And there were a number of people that passed by that stopped and talked to us, not every week, but I think we had about a half dozen that stopped by and just said, like, "What are you doing here? Thank you for praying for us." And it was an incredible thing. So again, it's that sign of hope in these troubled times. It gets you off the couch and doing something.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen.